You are about to listen to I, Enoch, Sky Tripper, a new translation of the book of 1 Enoch, translated from the Ethiopic and the Hebrew ancient documents into Hebraic English. The book, with complete annotation, glossary, and notes, is available from me by request at www.yahad.me. This is a true names translation, not an old translation with Hebraic names parsed in. This is the translation preferred by Steve Quayle and published by Steve Quayle. This audiobook is published by Jackson Snyder, copyright 2020, all rights reserved. I, Enoch, Sky Tripper. Book 1, The Marot and the Mashalim. Fate of Kataim versus Zadikim, 1 Enoch 1. These are the words of Enoch's blessing by which he blessed the Bakarim and Zadikim, those living in the day of trouble, when all the corrupted and immoral are to be removed. He took up his mashal and said, Enoch, a Zadik whose eyes were opened by Elohim, saw the vision of the Kadosh One and the Shamayim. The Malakim showed it all to me. I heard them, and I understood them all. But what I saw is not for this time. It is for a tribe in a remote age to come. I spoke to the Bakarim. I took up my mashal about them with these words. El Shaddai HaKodesh will come out of his dwelling. The timeless Elohim will tread through the land, even upon Mount Sinai. He will appear from his camp in the strength of his might from the Shemaiah of Shemayim. He will strike everyone with fear. Even the Urim will quake. All over the world, great horror and trembling will seize them all. For the high mountains will be shaken down, and the high hills will be made low. Such will melt like wax before the flame. The land will be torn in half. All upon it will perish. For the verdict will be against all. Yet he will make shalom with the Zadikim and protect the Bakarim. Kesedah will be upon them, since they will all belong to El. They will prosper, so to bless others. He will help them all. Light will appear to them, and he will make shalom with them. But he comes with 10,000s of his Kadoshim, to execute justice for all, to convict and destroy the Kataim for crimes committed in rebellion, including all the hard sayings they have spoken against him. 1 Enoch 2. Observe everything that takes place in the Shamayim, how the planets do not change their orbits, and the light-bearers in the Shamayim, how they all rise and set in order, each in its season, and do not contravene against their appointed order. Look to the land. Heed the things that take place upon it from start to finish. See how steadfast they are, how none of their ways on the earth vary. Take in all these words of El. Observe summer and winter, how the whole land is filled with water, how the rain lies upon it, the clouds and dew. 1 Enoch 3. Observe how, in the winter, all the trees seem as though dead. They withered and shed all their leaves, except 14 trees that do not lose their foliage, but retain the old for 2 to 3 years until the new comes. 1 Enoch 4. Again, observe the days of summer, how the sun is above the land, yet over against it. You seek shade and shelter because of the sun's heat, and the land also burns with growing heat, so you cannot walk on sod or rock because of its heat. 1 Enoch 5. See how the trees cover themselves with green leaves and fruit? Why do you not pay attention? Know about all his works. Recognize how the one who always lives has made all things. All his works continue in the same way from year to year, and ha'olam va'ed. Mind all the assignments they complete for him. Their missions never change, but remain just how El has ordered. And so it is done.
See how the waters and rivers flow to their finish and never vary from its mitzvot. As for you, you have neither dedicated yourselves nor fulfilled Yahweh's mitzvot. Instead, you have turned away, proudly saying harsh words against his greatness with your impure lips. Oh, you hard-hearted ones, you will find no shalom. For this, you will regret all the days of your life to the utmost. The years of your lives will quickly pass away. The times of your ruination will be multiplied by constant disgust. No chesed will you find. In those days, your acts will ensure that your names are abominable to the Tzaddikim for all time. By your own names, you will be cursed by all who curse. All lawless Kataim will curse you, for you will be a curse. Yet all the rest will rejoice. There will be every chesed and shalom and leniency, even forgiveness of disobedience. There will be Yeshua available to them, and plenty of light. But for all you lawless, there will be no Yeshua. A curse will remain on you all. Yet for the Bakarim, all will be light and joy and shalom. They will inherit the land. The highest chokmah will be conferred upon them. They will live well and never commit the crime again by disobedience or pride, for all those with chokmah will be humble. They will not go astray again, nor will they commit chata all their days, nor will they die by divine anger or wrath. They will complete the full number of their lives' days, yet they will increase in shalom, while their joyful years will be multiplied toward continuous happiness and shalom all their days. To follow the Malakim, 1 Enoch 6. So it happened, when the Benim Am multiplied, beautiful and wholesome daughters were born. So the Malakim, these children of the Shemaiah, saw them and lusted for them. They said to one another, "Come on, let us choose wives from the Yelodim Ha'am and spawn our own Yelodim." Semyaza, their chief, said to them, "I am afraid you will not all agree to do this, and I will have to pay the penalty of a great chata alone." They all answered him, saying, "We will all swear an oath, binding ourselves to vows not to abandon our plan. We will fulfill it." So together they swore, binding themselves by vows. There were 200 in all. They descended into Ardos, the summit of Mount Arman in Yared's lifetime. They call it Mount Arman because they had sworn and bound themselves by curses upon it. These are the names of their chiefs: Semyaza, the ruler of them all, and Arakeb, Ramael, Tamel, Ramel, Danel, Ezekiel, Barakiel, Azel, Amoros, Batarel, Ananel, Zakiel, Sasomaspiel, Kestarel, Turel, Yomeal, and Araziel. These are the rulers of tens and all the rest. 1 Enoch 7. With these, all the other Malakim took themselves wives, each choosing one, and they began to go into them and defile themselves with them. They taught them charms and spells, and the cutting of roots to make them skillful with herbs. They became expectant. They bore great Rephaim, whose heights were 3,000 ells. They used up all the provisions. When the Benim Am could no longer sustain them, these ogres turned and devoured them. They started to commit crimes against birds, beasts, reptiles, and fish, and then to eat one another's bodies, even drinking the blood. It was at this point that the earth laid an accusation against these lawless ones. Azazel taught them to make swords, knives, shields, and breastplates, and made known to them earth metals, and the skill of working them for bracelets and other jewelry. Also, the use of antimony for coloring their eyelids, along with all types of precious stones, and prescriptions for dyeing. From these teachings, there arose great disobedience. The Benim Am were led astray. They committed immorality. They became corrupted in all their ways. Amazras taught cursing and root cutting. Armoros, curse lifting. Barakiel taught star signs. Kukararel, star patterns. Ezekiel, cloud lore. Erakiel, land signs. Shamsiel, sun signs. Tamel, star signs. And Azdarel, moon pathways. As the Ben-Imam perished, they cried out, and their cry went up to the Shamayim. The four Malakim to Yahweh Le'olam, 1 Enoch 9. Then Michael, Uriel, Raphael, and Gavriel looked down from the Shamayim and saw much blood being shed on the earth, and all the lawlessness wrought thereupon. They said to one another, "This emptied world carried the voice of wailing up to the Shemaiah gates. Now Kadosh Shemaiah dwellers state their case to you, saying, Bring our cause before the El Elyon." And they said to Yahweh Le'olam, "Rulers of rulers, El of Elohim, Melech of Melechim, Ancient of Days, your kavod throne is before all the families Haolam Va'ed, and your name is Kadosh and wonderful and blessed to all. You have formed all and have power over all. All are naked and open in your sight. You see all, and nothing can hide from you. You see what Azazel has done, the one who taught all Mara in the world and revealed his ageless mysteries kept in Shamayim, all that the Ben-Imam have been striving to learn. You see Semyaza, the one you gave the authority to rule over his peers. They all have gone into the daughters of Haaretz and have lain with them, defiling themselves and revealing all manner of corruption to them. These women have given birth to Rephaim. The whole land is filled up with blood and disobedience on their account. And now, the Nepheshim of the dead are calling out, making their case to the Shemaiah gates. Their laments have ascended and cannot be stopped because of the lawless works wreaked upon the earth. But you, Elyon, know all events before they happen. Although you know them, you allow them, but you do not tell us what to do about them. Elyon to Uriel to Lamech, 1 Enoch 10. Then spoke the Elyon, the Kadosh and exalted one. Elyon sent Uriel to Lamech's son, saying, Go to Noach and tell him, in my name, sir, hide yourself away. Then reveal the approaching end to him. A deluge will come suddenly upon the land, and the whole of it will be destroyed. Aye, the floods will obliterate everyone. Now, teach Noach how he may escape, so that his zerah might be preserved for all future families of the world. Yahweh to Raphael regarding Azazel. Then Yahweh spoke to Raphael again. Bind Azazel hand and foot, and cast him into the darkness. Make a mouth in the desert of Dudael, and pitch him in. Lay rough and jagged rocks on him, blanket him with darkness, and let him remain there Haolam Va'ed. Cover his face so he cannot see the light. Then on the great day of judgment, Azazel will be cast into the fire. Then heal the lands that the Nephilim have corrupted. Proclaim the restoration of the earth, that they might heal the plague. So all the Yeladim Ha'am might not perish by the hidden knowledge. The Irim have revealed and taught their offspring. The entire world has been corrupted by the works taught by Azazel. Blame him for Kol Kata. Yahweh to Gavriel concerning the Bnei Ra. Then Yahweh spoke to Gavriel. Proceed against the illicit and degenerate, against the Bnei Ra, even the Bnei Irim, from among the Bnei Ham, and make them go away. Send them against each other so they may destroy one another in combat. They will not be granted length of days. No appeal to you will be granted them or to their fathers on their behalf. They hope to live timelessly, but each will live but 500 years. Yahweh to Michael concerning Semyaza and the unclean. Then Yahweh spoke to Michael. Go, bind Semyaza and his ilk who have joined with women and thus defile themselves in all their uncleanness. when their Yeladim have slain each other, and they have seen the ruin of those they love, chain them tightly for 70 generations in the deepest storehouses of the earth, until the day of their judgment and conflagration, a verdict that will consume them ha'olam va'ed. The fire pit. In those days they will be led to the fire pit, to the anguish and confinement that will be timeless. Whoever else is condemned to perdition will be bound together with them until the end of their family line. They decimate the ruakim of all the corrupt B'nai Irim, for they have victimized the B'nai Adam. Destroy all filthiness for the face of Haaretz, and let every evil work end, so the planting of obedience and truth may commence. This will ultimately prove to be a blessing, for works of obedience and certainty will surely be planted in verity and joy, and agelessly. The rebound of the Zadokim on Haaretz. Then all who are Zadokim will escape, and will continue until they have brought forth Yeladim by the thousands. They will complete all their days, their youth, and their old age, in perfect shalom. Then will the whole land be turned over by obedience, be planted with trees, be filled with blessings. Only all the pleasing trees will be planted, and vines also. The vineyards will yield an abundance of wine. Each measure of seed sown will yield 1,000, and each measure of olives will yield 10 presses of oil. Cleanse the land from all oppression, of all lawlessness, from all crime and disobedience. Destroy all the uncleanness wrought upon Haaretz. Then all the Yelodim Ha'am will become Zedekah, and all tribes will offer me adoration and will praise me. Yes, all will bow down to me, since the land will be cleansed from all defilement of Chata, from all condemnation, from all torment. I will never again send forth such judgment upon it from the beginning to begetting, and ha'olam va'ed.